This hunt will forever change the way I live my life, and not just as it relates to bow hunting. To be blessed with a bull like this on an over-the-counter tag on public land in Colorado is so fulfilling, so rewarding, that words can't fully explain the way this makes me feel. It's something I've never felt before, and something I may never feel again. It's enough to make a grown man cry his eyes out in pure joy and disbelief for nearly an hour, without the ability to even stand without falling down. Adrenaline pulsing through your veins as your body literally goes into shock, leaving you feeling completely out of control. It's a feeling of incomprehensible gratefulness, leaving you asking yourself what you did to deserve this, knowing that every single prayer you said on that mountain was answered by God.
God is so good.
Oh my gosh, he blessed me beyond belief.
Looking back, the amount of effort that went into this hunt is immeasurable. It's the culmination of dedication and preparation over seemingly an entire lifetime. I remember from a young age my dad returning home from a week of elk hunting in Colorado. I knew then that someday I wanted to bring back a true public land trophy bull from the rugged wilderness of the Colorado mountains on an over-the-counter tag. It's the morning of the first day. I hiked in over 5 miles last night to set up my first camp in a basin that I've known to have plenty of elk in the past. It wasn't long ago when Micah and I were back in these mountains and we learned the lesson of never giving up as we followed a bull and his herd through the dark timber for miles before he finally got an opportunity.
He's standing there. He's higher. Our wind's going up right now. Okay, get higher. It's not good, so be prepared. Turn around. Yep, follow him. He is close, dude.
Micah never did get an elk on that trip, but we hunted hard and learned some extremely valuable lessons. Being back in the mountains has me excited for what the next few days could hold. Well, it is September 12th, 2022, and I am in the backcountry of Colorado chasing elk. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to shoot anything that's legal, 100%. Colorado over-the-counter archery elk is tough enough as it is, so you can get any elk, that is a success, hands down. Truly, I'm just here for the experience, just to disconnect, get away from work and just life back home for a little while. And I can't tell you enough how nice it is to just be out here and be by myself and be alone in God's creation. So either way, this is going to be a great week, but hopefully I can get some elk meat to pack out. Let's go. Well, they've been here, but all the tracks and all the sign I'm seeing is at least a week to 10 days old. So Not sure where they went. They used to be here for sure. There's a lot of sign, just not fresh. So gonna try to just cover a bunch of ground, see if I can locate them. Once I find them, I think I'll be in them and I'll have good opportunity. So we're gonna keep sticking after it, put on some miles today, and hopefully we can locate them. No matter where I went in the basin, I couldn't seem to find them. Knowing there was a fresh burn in the area, I decided to hike over the mountain to check the other side. Well, I've just spotted the first elk of the trip. They're right down here, right along the edge of a burn. There's a part of the forest that didn't get burned, and then the stuff that got burned pretty good, and they're right along that edge. Counted at least 3 of them. They're pretty far. They're over a mile and about 1,500 feet down below me. And, I haven't decided if I should go after them yet or not. Got about an hour and a half before dark, and they're exactly the opposite direction of my camp, which is about 3 miles back that way. I'm going to watch them a little bit longer, then I'm going to go get them. Remembering what I learned from my Idaho elk hunt in 2020 with my good buddy Dylan, I knew that I couldn't let an opportunity like this pass me by. We had spent way too much time glassing and learning the elk, and not enough time being aggressive to get into range. There's a cow up here. It didn't take me long, and I was finally in range. My wind was good, or so I thought. Wind switched. They went a long ways. There's one bugling back over that way. It's getting too dark. But I know where the elk are now. That was 3 cows, 2 spikes, another spike, and a 4x4. One nickel bull. And those cows. At that spike, it's 66. If they stay here, we're gonna get them. Well, it's a little after 10 o'clock now. Just made it back to camp. I'm whooped. I walked a lot of miles today, and thankfully I was able to find the elk. It's just that they're over the mountaintop, almost 8 miles from my truck. The good news is that if I get one over there, there is a road on that back side. But in the meantime, gonna have to pack up camp. Just came in here expecting to find the elk where I always find them, because they've always been here, and they weren't here. And just kind of used my best guess to think where they might be. Went over there, glass from the mountaintop. Sure enough, that's where they were. So I'm sure they're more spread out, and I'm sure there is some still in here. But I'm going to focus where there's the most elk. So that's where I'm going to go. My plan for today, I'm going to get this camp set up, and then I'm going to go glass from the hills just to see if I can see anything. And then once I get a good strong thermal going up, I'm going to get down on top of this stretch of timber that hasn't burned yet, and I'm just going to really slowly tiptoe through there, just looking for elk sign, getting on a trail, and kind of just still hunting, if that makes sense. I'll find myself kind of mid-afternoon, evening, down in the bottom, probably 1,500 feet or 2,000 feet down, and I'll get water there, And I'm just gonna kind of hang out until evening, because last night there was a bull that bugled a couple times on that hill. So I'm gonna kind of get in position to be there. That way if he does bugle, I can make a move. And then once it gets dark, then I'll hike back up here to camp. Gotta play to your strengths, figure out what these elk are doing, and just make it happen. And that's what we're gonna do. As day 2 went on, I covered a huge part of the forest and I never did see an elk. Wondering where they could be or where they went to, I found myself struggling to keep a strong, positive mindset. But I knew it was only day 2, and a new day ahead of me could bring new opportunities. Day 3 may just bring me an experience of a lifetime. Just that elk. Well, morning of day 3. Seen 2 hunters already this morning, and heard one for sure hunter bugle down in the bottom, kind of where I was expecting the elk to be. So not a great start to the morning. Plan for today, somewhat similar to yesterday. I'm gonna glass from up high here and hopefully see some elk. And if I do or if I don't, I'm gonna go down into the thick dark timber that's right in the middle of this burn here. If I can't see them, I'm just going to assume that they're in there. There is a lot of fresh sign in there. When I was down there last night, I saw quite a bit, but I don't know if there's elk there or not, but there's only one way to find out. So I'm going to put in the miles, see if I can find them, and if not, I'll probably glass this one more morning, and if I don't see anything, I'm probably going to hit a different area. These elk are pretty heavily pressured, so just gotta be able to move and adapt as they do. So wish me luck.
Well, I saw a big bull pushing cows up this hillside from way over from the glassing point, probably 3/4 of a mile away. And I saw him going almost straight up the hill, so I packed up my stuff, took off running along the top of the mountain on the trail. Got about halfway over, there was a hunter on the trail. I caught up to him, and these 2 bulls lit up down here, bugle after bugle, pretty close to where the bulls would have been if they would have went straight up. But I think they stopped down here in this timber, so I'm slowly sneaking my way in there. Hopefully I can get in their bedroom and get a shot. I snuck into that bull's bed, bumped him at 25 yards. I heard him bugle probably 5-10 minutes after I spooked him. Down and over to the right, a couple hundred yards. So he's not too far. It's gonna start raining, and that might just play to my advantage. Might quiet things up a little bit and give me just that little bit of extra advantage that I need to slip in and get a shot. We'll see. There. If he is, we're gonna get him.
Well, at least one lucky muzzleloader hunter was able to find success. Pretty nice 6x6 bull, and looks like they got more packing out to do. But still following the elk sign. I'm set up over a wallow right now. Lots and lots and lots of tracks in it. Very good pinch point right here. Actually not too far from where I set up last night, and not too far from where they actually killed that bull. So I'm going to spend a good portion of the afternoon here listening, just seeing what I can hear. If there is any bugles take place, I'm jetting towards them. Otherwise, I'm going to sit tight right here over water. Didn't get as much rain as I was hoping, so the ground's still pretty loud. And I'm just not sure that I'll be able to sneak up on them. So, not so sure that this guy didn't shoot this bull off of this wallow, so if it worked once, it's going to work again, right? We'll see. Maybe when they're coming back for the hindquarters and the head, they'll push some to me.
this evening, but they're not talking. I'm covering ground trying to find them, but it ain't easy. Guess that concludes day 3. We'll see what day 4 brings. Cold, wet morning with not a lot of elk. Good for stalking for sure. That's about it though. Haven't heard any elk bugle. Haven't seen any fresh sign. Haven't seen any elk. But I'm gonna keep pushing on. Stick with me. Well, rain stopped, at least for a little while. I'm soaked. It seems like no matter how good your rain gear is, if it rains long enough, hard enough, you're gonna get wet. My boots are soaked, and I'm soaked. And I gotta stay moving to keep warm. As you can see, there's a lot of deadfall in here. And not easy to navigate as a hunter, which honestly for over-the-counter public land in Colorado is a good thing, because that means a lot of hunters ain't coming through here. Starting to see some sign. I think the elk have been pushed in here some over these last few days. Haven't bumped anything yet. Haven't heard anything. But the day's not over. I'm actually just working my way back to camp. Gonna take my boots off and my clothes. Try to dry everything out. It's supposed to get below freezing tonight, so gotta make sure that I can be warm for tomorrow.
As I sit here in camp in the middle of day 4 on my 5-day hunt, I can't help but have negative thoughts fill my mind. Spending half of my yearly vacation to bow hunt elk, only to be sitting here in camp, wasting the day, is eating away at me. I know I have to at least get my boots dry, or I will be in some serious trouble to even just make it back to the truck. I'd be lying if I said the thought of packing up my stuff and ending the hunt right now isn't crossing my mind. I'm soaking wet, tired, cold, exhausted, and the lack of elk and increase of hunting pressure is continuing to wear at me, both physically and mentally. Just the thought of getting an elk in this scenario seems almost unattainable. As I rested, refueled, and tried to warm myself by the fire, I reflected on my life and realized just how lucky I was to even be there on the mountain. Most importantly, I prayed. Dreams erupted into reality on the night of the last day as a bull ripped a bugle not 100 yards from my campsite just after midnight, and he did not stop until daybreak. It's now day 5, the final day of the hunt. I've hunted hard with nothing to show, but the sound of an elk bugling by my camp last night still echoes in my mind. Now I just need to find him.
Well, it's the morning of the last day. We got one bugling right over here parallel with me. I'm working my way over there quick. Keep talking. Hopefully I can get him called in. Wish me luck.
I approach the bull, only 150 yards away. I let out a bugle, hoping he comes toward me, but he gathers his cows and heads away.
I followed them about 3 miles. They're still going. I'm trying to get up above them to prove and get one of them, but they're really kicking my ass. I'm gonna stick with them.
I've caught up with the herd and they have no idea I am near. I carefully sneak closer, hoping they don't spot my movement. I followed them another mile, and at last, I've caught up with them. Now I see another mature bull working his way towards the herd. After the last cow crested the mountain, I ran across the avalanche chute, hoping that I would finally be in range. I slowly peek over the ridge and see the bulls posturing, ready to fight. Bingo. He's dead, baby. He's dead, baby. Right through him. He's done. Oh my God. No way. Oh my God. Oh my God. Go down. Oh my God. Oh my God. It happened. I can't believe it, guys. I cannot believe it. What did I do to deserve this? Okay, well, it's been about an hour since I shot him. Finally had a chance to try to calm myself down a little bit. But I'm gonna walk you through everything that just happened here, because this is just unbelievable. I can't believe that this worked out. But I'm coming over to the bridge where I first crossed. You can see right up here is the peak of the mountain, right like that. And there's this big valley right here. And I saw him crest right at this tree. So I knew I wanted to get above him because the wind was blowing up. So I got to about here, and I just picture this. I see big bull here, and they're coming at each other in the sun. Rangefinder's not working. So literally, I guessed him. I'm like, okay, he's got to be 30-40. Draw back, put my 30-40 yard pin on him, shoot, hit high. I'm like, oh no, you know. And He doesn't know what happens. Like, he goes down towards the bull another 10 yards. I kind of walk up the hill a little bit, go to shoot again, thinking like, I gotta really make this quick. Yank my release, hit him through the antlers, like not even frickin' close. I'm like, okay, calm down, get your stuff together. He turns even better broadside, load another arrow, draw back, put my 40-yard pin right on him and 12 ring him, like absolute perfect shot. He bugles again as he's going down. He stops at maybe 52, 53. I put my 50, 60-yard pin right on there, and I shoot another perfect shot. Hits like 2 or 3 inches from that last shot. Arrow zips through him, and I see him run down through the trees, and I heard him crash, and I can't wait to go get him. I'll be honest with you guys, this has been a very challenging, very hard hunt for me. I didn't think it was going to come together, but hard work, and a lot of luck, and God, and anything's possible. And this is proof of it right here. So I'm gonna gather up my stuff. I'm gonna go see if I can find my arrow that zipped through him, and then we're gonna follow blood down, and we're gonna get our hands on him. And I just can't believe it. This is my personal second year myself having a tag in Colorado, and my second bull, and he's a doozy. Let's go get him. That's some good blood. Oh man. Here, I guess. There's the last arrow that zipped right through him. All right, we got 2 of them. Let's hit up this blood trail. Blood, that's what we like to see, good lung blood. He went right through those trees. Let's go get him. You guys, I see him. Take a look at this. This is my view. There he is. Oh my God. Here we go. You put 2 arrows through their lungs, they don't make it very far. Man, oh, he's a giant. Wow. Look at him. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Insane. Absolutely insane. The old death roll right here. Wow. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Oh my gosh. That is a big Colorado over-the-counter public land bull. I don't care who you are. That is awesome. That is awesome. Yes, I cannot believe it. Absolutely cannot believe it. This is seriously a bull of a lifetime. And I do not
I do not deserve this. I really don't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 by 6. Unreal. Unreal. He is a dandy. That is going to be a lot of meat to pack out. I might have to call in for some reinforcements. He smells like a rotten bull. Look at that. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Look at that. He's huge. That is a big animal. How am I gonna get this thing out of here? Oh my God. Unreal. Well, honestly, I'm just completely at a loss for words. This is an incredible animal, and this is easily the biggest elk I've ever seen on public land in an over-the-counter unit in Colorado. And I can't stress this enough. I do not deserve this animal. I worked hard, but I know there's a lot of people out there that work hard. And the fact of the matter is, I got very, very lucky, and I am very, very blessed to be holding this animal right here, right now. Especially just the way it worked out. I mean, that first shot likely wasn't fatal. I was likely gonna have to track this bull a long ways. I mean, he was still bugling and everything else. And, you know, I was blessed with the opportunity for multiple other shots, and thankful I got 2 more arrows right in the lungs, and that was all it took. He didn't make it very far. He's only 100 yards down the hill from that last shot, and I am just absolutely ecstatic. I am truly blessed. This is a bull of a lifetime for over-the-counter public land in Colorado. I don't know if I'll ever see another one quite like this or have an experience quite like this again. But it has been an incredibly hard week of hunting. Very, very tough. I don't know if I was just me getting in my head, but I've seen an exceptional amount of hunters this year, and it's just been really, really hard. The bulls have not been talking. It's been hard to still hunt. Rained all day yesterday. My boots were completely soaked. I spent a good portion of yesterday drying out my boots over a fire because there was no way. I knew if my boots were wet, it was supposed to freeze last night. Frozen boots is not a good combination. So to have everything worked out the way that it did, I mean, even yesterday I was thinking to myself, like, man, like I'm wasting time. I'm wasting time drying out my boots. Like, this is a full day of vacation I'm taking, and here I am not even hunting. I'm back at camp drying out my boots. Like, you know, I should probably just go home. You know, it was supposed to rain today. Forecast said rain all morning. And I was thinking, man, if I don't shoot anything in the morning, like, I'm not going to be able to pack it out in time. My plan was hunt till noon today, go back to camp, and then head back to the truck and head home. And the Lord just blessed me in so many different ways. I mean, it's just really unbelievable. I mean, literally last night, midnight, bull was bugling 200 yards from my hammock, from my campsite, and until 4 a.m. he bugled and woke me up almost every time. And I got up ready this morning, and he had bugled on the backside. I had bugled all on the north side, didn't hear him. Went on the backside, wind was howling, and heard him bugling down there. And I actually had a text from Micah because I had kind of sent him a long thing of everything that had happened. And he's like, you know what, man? Like, September's only so long, and I'd do anything to be out in those mountains again. Give it your all, and leave nothing out there, leave nothing on the table. And man, that's exactly what I did. It's just that little bit of extra encouragement from him. And this bull talking, actually it wasn't this bull, it was the other herd bull that was talking. But to have him bugling, and then, you know, just to have that little bit of extra oomph from a great friend of mine, especially after he killed that giant bull in Wyoming, it was all I needed to have that extra push to go after him. And man, I couldn't be more blessed. I mean, the way that this worked out with this bull coming down from the top of the hill and coming down, meeting that other herd bull, and then literally walking right out in front of me. And it was just like I had gotten there in right place, right time. I mean, God willing, it was meant to be. It really was. And
I am just so incredibly blessed. Never in a million years imagined I'd be holding a bull this big without paying at least a lot of money for it, that's for sure. And you can seek these adventures just on an over-the-counter tag. As hard as it is not easy in any stretch of the imagination. It is not easy, but the reward is so great, so fulfilling. I cannot describe it to you. Cannot stress it enough how amazing this feels. This is honestly one of my greatest accomplishments I've ever had in my entire life, and I truly mean that. Just from overcoming the adversity and overcoming that devil on your shoulder, saying, it's not worth going down 1,500 feet to that bull that's likely going to get pushed off, or he's in that burn, you're never going to get close, all those negative thoughts. Just having that, having Lord bless me to be able to push past those negative thoughts and keep pushing on, and it brought me this incredible opportunity, and I just couldn't be more thankful, and I am just undeniably blessed beyond belief. So it's Friday right now. It's probably about 10:30. I'm going to take a few photos, and my good buddy Micah, he just shot that big bull in Wyoming, of course. He went all the way back home, took the meat off, and he's very adamant he's coming out here. He's going to help me pack it out. So I'm excited beyond belief just to see him, just to have him be a part of this experience, and I'm very grateful for the help. So Micah, see you soon, buddy. Let's get this bull all taken care of. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you being a part of this adventure. This is all self-filmed, so apologize that the filming isn't all that spectacular, but hope it brought you through the highs and some of the lows of elk hunting public land in Colorado and an over-the-counter unit. There's nothing easy about it in any stretch of the imagination, but man, when it comes together, the reward is like nothing you'll ever imagine. So, just reached the halfway point, got him flipped over, which by myself was honestly pretty tough. He's a big animal, even with half his quarters gone. But I just want to show you these shots. You can see these were the last two shots right behind the shoulder that did him in. The one stopped on the offside shoulder, and the other one zipped all the way through. And look at that. I mean, right next to each other. And I wish I could say that my first shots were like that, but unfortunately they weren't. But God blessed me with several other opportunities, and I was fortunate enough to make them count. I'm so glad Mike is coming. This is gonna be a hell of a pack out. This thing is huge. There's more meat off of this than any elk I've ever cleaned ever, by a lot. And I can still hear him bugling way down below me. What an awesome day. After I had killed my bull, Micah immediately offered to drive almost 10 hours back west to help me pack him out down the mountain after he had just dropped his Wyoming bull elk meat off at the processor in eastern Nebraska. I planned to fly out for a work trip leaving early Monday morning, and I was concerned I wouldn't be able to get my bull out and make my flight on time. I realized I was going to need some help to get all of the meat off the mountain. I reached out to Micah to see if I could take him up on his offer, and he was already a couple of hours down the road headed my way. Our goal of packing out an elk together has finally come to fruition. This pack out proved to be one of the most enjoyable days we've spent together thus far, and I truly can't thank Micah enough for his help. The only way I'll ever be able to repay him is packing out a bull for him, hopefully in the upcoming season. I hope this video inspires you. Whatever dreams you have, know that it can be reached, no matter how big or unattainable it may seem.
This hunt means more to me than any other hunt I've ever been on. And here's the story. Grizzly bear right there.
what elk hunting's all about. Hard work. Did I get him?
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
That's a giant. That's a giant.
It's a giant bull.